She is the 6th Filipina to win the Miss International crown. She's now a certified actress and a mental health advocate. We have with us Kylie Verzosa. Hi, Kylie.
Hi, Toni.
She's also a certified daddy's girl.
Sobra.
As you can see, kasama natin ang kanyang daddy.
Dinala ko siya dito sa
Si Daddy Ari. Ba't sinama mo si Daddy?
Kasi binisita nila ako from Baguio. So, taga Baguio ako, binisita niya ako. So, sabi ko, Daddy, I have Toni talks on the,
Sweet naman.
This day. Sabi ko, huwag ka na umuwi, sumama na lang ako.
First time namin na may guest na ang kasama Daddy.
Ah, talaga ba?
Yeah, this is the first.
Daddy's girl.
Ikaw ang certified daddy's girl. Yes.
Actually, kinakabahan kasi ako kasi nanonood talaga ako nito. As in, nasa explore page ng YouTube ko.
Wow, thank you.
Nung in-invite ako, sabi ko, oh my God, hindi ko naman alam, may mag-guest ako dito.
No,
sabi
pero
ko,
alam
Daddy,
yung maganda ang story ni Kylie because you would think that she's this pretty beauty queen, parang living a fairy tale life. But if you will get to know more about her journey, you will understand that behind her beauty, she also went through some pain in her life. Pero kanina binabanggit ni Kylie, galing si Daddy sa Baguio. Kasi taga Baguio po talaga si Kylie. She grew up in Baguio.
actually, I was born in Manila. Pero parang when I was 6 years old, nag-move yung buong family ko sa Baguio dahil my mom and dad just left their work. So, gusto nila mag-relocate sa Baguio. So, very simple lang yung buhay namin sa Baguio. Wala masyadong ginagawa and very, school, home, school, home, school, home.
Tsaka studios ka dati,
Sobrang
diba?
studious ako. Mahilig talaga ako mag-aral. As in, kakabahan ako kapag wala akong dalang homework sa school. So parang never ako nag-miss ng mga homework. Tapos science section din ako.
So nung nasa school ka, ano ka ba nun? Shy kid? Tahimik na kid? Patay na bata? Matalino? Honor student?
Honor student ako!
Nerd ka kasi, di ba?
Nerd ako.
Oo, nerd.
Actually,
Like, anong honor? Magkakaalam.
Teka lang, wait lang. Okay, gusto ko lang medyo...
Honor student si
Gusto
Kylie.
ko lang talaga sabihin, nag-valedictorian ako once.
Valedictorian.
Pero once lang, mga grade 2.
Ako rin, once lang.
Once lang?
Grade 5 naman.
Okay. Pero,
Pwede na yun.
Pwede na.
Once valedictorian. Top 1.
pwede na yun. So, mga honor student ako. Siguro mga top 5, 10. Pero nung nag-high school ako, siguro highest ko na top 10. Kasi nga, sobrang talino ng mga... My mom is an author. My dad is a businessman. Pero speaker din siya. Very academic yung parents ko. Gusto ko talaga magkaroon ng business in the future kasi very business-minded yung family ko. So,
Speaking of business, yung Forest House sa Baguio, yung family ni Kylie yung may-ari.
Forest
Kumakain kami
House.
dun.
Talaga ba? Pero medyo sad ako kasi nag-close na siya nung pandemic. Pero sana mag-open ulit.
Pero di ba nung bata ka, ang dream mo talaga maging doktor?
Dream ko talaga maging doktor.
Mm-hmm.
Pero parang nalaman ko na nung mga 13, 14 years old, favorite ko show ko kasi yung ER. So, nung nakita ko na magbubukas pala ng mga katawan, ganyan, medyo, yung
needles.
dugo, ayoko.
Oo.
Medyo naawa ko sa tao. So, sabi ko, okay, shift tayo ng career. So, nakita ko yung ginagawa ng parents ko and parang mas more on business sila. So, yun din yung course na tinake ko sa Ateneo.
Pero nung pumapasok ka sa school, popular ka na ba na maganda ka? Kasi di mo may ganun, yung popular kid kasi ang ganda niya.
Oo. Never ko iniisip or sinasabi sa sarili ko na maganda ka, ganyan. Pero nung mga high school pa lang, naging muse na ako ng mga team namin, basketball. Minsan, hindi ko na kailangan mag-practice ng intrams kasi ginawa na akong muse, pa-fairy-fairy ako ng ilang years, ganyan. So, pero never nasa ulo ko na, never ako nagmayabang or anything. Nararamdaman ko na sa Baguio na medyo, bakit ako tinitignan ng tao? Parang ganun, bakit ako tinitignan ng tao?
Stand out ka na. Kasi ang tangkad mo na noon pa man, di ba?
Oo. Actually, masyado nga ako matangkad to a point na nag-pray ako kay God. Sana Lord, mas maliit na lang ako kasi hindi ko ma-jive yung mga friends ko. Yung mga friends ko ganito. So, wish ko talaga, kasi matangkad talaga ako, wish ko talaga na sana mas maliit ako kasi I just really wanted to fit in.
Pero nung 2014, let's talk about this, na you went through a depression. You were
Yes.
clinically depressed. Ilang taon ka nun?
I was 21 years old.
You
I
were
was
diagnosed.
as clinically depressed.
So, paano nakarating dun sa point na you were diagnosed na clinically depressed? Ano yung mga unang signs? Ano yung unang nararamdaman mo nung 20 years old ka?
Pakiramdam ko na parang buhay ako pero patay ako sa loob. Minsan yung thoughts na nasa ulo ko, bakit pa ako andito? Or sana hindi ka na lang nagising. Or Kylie, sana, bakit ka pa nagising? Wala namang kwenta yung buhay mo. Wala kang kwenta, wala kang silbi, ang pangit mo, hindi ka matalino, hindi ka magaling sa kahit saan, bobo ka, ganyan. Ganyan na lahat ng thoughts ko for a long time. And parang I was punishing myself for something na I didn't really understand.
So, lumabas yan, yung ganyang mga thoughts,
Yes.
feelings, emotions. Dahil, tingin mo,
Sa akin, it was because of siguro yung questioning myself, bakit ako na LOA sa school? Was I a disgrace to my family? Tama ba yung career path na choose ko? Because I modeled for a while my friends were, in corporate na. So, many different factors. Yung very unstable din yung relationship ko noon. As a young girl, parang hindi ako sure kung tama ba yung relationship ko. So, depression is feelings of sadness for more than 2 weeks.
it's a
And
kind of
around-
sadness.
It's a kind of sadness na hindi mo siya matatanggal in a snap. ng
Kahit
tao
manood
sa'yo.
ka ng masayang
kahit
movie,
anong gawin mo.
kahit pumunta ka sa mall.
Kahit anong gawin mo, yung mga gusto mo dati, hindi mo na siya nagagawa.
So, very dark.
Very dark, very isolated ka from your friends. Wala akong gustong gawin, hindi ko siya kayang gawin. Hindi ko kaya bumangon sa umaga, hindi ko kayang abutin yung...
Para kang paralyzed.
Para akong buhay, pero patay sa loob.
Kailan mo na ramdaman na you needed help? Na pumunta ka sa doctor, nagpa-diagnose ka?
Pinuntuan ko yung daddy ko and sabi ko, Daddy, this is what I'm going through. So nakita niya agad. Kylie, I think you're depressed. Sabi ko, Daddy, what's depressed? I'm not depressed. So, andun yung denial.
yeah.
Yung parang, hindi naman ako depressed. Anong depressed?
Ah.
Ano lang yan? Sakit. Kasi sabi nila, sakit mayaman daw yun, di ba? Until finifeed niya sa akin, articles on depression, ganyan. So, I read up on it. Nag-research ako, ano ba talaga yung depression?
The symptoms.
Yes, symptoms of depression. Kasi nung 2015, 14, hindi pa siya napapag-usapan.
Yes. Yung mga symptoms na nabasa mo, na nakarelate ka, ano-ano yun? The symptoms were?
Intense feeling of sadness for 2 weeks or longer. Shift in sleeping patterns. Shift in appetite. Lack of self-esteem. Lack of energy. Thoughts of suicide.
So, anim yun? Naramdaman mo lahat yun?
Naramdaman ko lahat.
Yung sleeping pattern, ibig sabihin nun, hindi ka na nakakatulog na
So,
maayos sa gabi?
dalawang option yun eh. Either you sleep too much or you sleep too little. Sa case ko naman, ayoko na magising, so I slept too much. And yung change in appetite, either you eat too much or you eat too little. Ako, hindi ako kumakain. So, sobrang swerte ako na I had people who understood me. So, nung naisip ko, wow, paano na yung ibang tao na walang ganun klaseng support system around them? Paano na sila? Kaya ako tinayo yung Mental Health Matters. One, to give awareness na depression is a real sickness na pwede siyang i-treat, and to have a good support system. Kasi may mga ibang tao na wala din yung same support system that I had. Actually, ginawa ko yon after Miss International
Yes.
to build a community of people who are going through the same thing. Kasi yun din yung tumulong sa akin to help me heal. Kasi pakiramdam ko na ako lang mag-isa going through my journey.
Anong ginagawa dun sa Mental Health Matters? Ano yung mga pinag-uusapan? Ano yung program? What do you do dun sa advocacy na yun?
So, dalawang things yun. One, may support group kami online on Facebook para dun nag-chat yung ibang members. So, may may form ka pa na fill up para screen lahat ng members that go through it. Tapos, small community siya na nagwe-meet every month online or in person just to talk about mental health and to have that support na community na hindi ka nag-iisa, let's go through this together, kaya mo yan. We have a hotline na tinatawagan, nag-partner kami with Consulta MD. So, hotline siya na pwede kang makausap. You can talk to a registered psychiatrist, psychologist, na pwede mong matawagan 24/7.
Pero sabi mo kanina, depression is treatable. How were you able to treat your depression? Ano yung ginawa mo para mag-heal, to recover, to overcome it?
May mentor ako na nag-open sa akin na sabi niya, Kylie, you can treat it the more holistic way. So, challenge ko sa sarili ko. Sabi ko, okay, if my dad's doing it the
medical way,
baka kaya ko in a more holistic way.
When you say holistic, that means?
This is yoga, meditation, so many different things. But it's the whole analysis of yung buong lifestyle mo. Kasi the best way of treating depression is psychotherapy, yung pinapag-usapan mo, either medicine or combination of both. Yung medicine, psychotherapy, and yung holistic way of healing. You really have to will yourself to get better. As in, kailangan gustong-gusto mo na maging mabuti. Kasi ako, that's what I really wanted. It really takes supreme effort on your part to get better.
Parang no one will help you but yourself.
No one will help
you are your own rescue.
Yourself. You have to hold your hand. You are your own knight in shining armor. So, kaya mo yan eh. Kaya mong hilain yung sarili mo. Kasi in the end, ikaw lang talaga ang makakabangon sa sarili mo. Depression kasi, kailangan mo times 40 yung effort mo. Times 40, times 50 na hilain mo sarili mo out of bed, hilain mo sarili mo to work out.
When did you feel na, kasi di ba sabi mo, there was a complete feeling of sadness, na parang the sadness is so overwhelming when you're depressed. When did you feel na, ay, nawawala na yung sadness. Medyo hindi na ako sad. Masaya na ako.
Siguro mga pa 1 year na siya eh. Hindi ko na-realize na I've been depressed for over a year. Parang ang bilis ng panahon. Nag-preschool teacher pa ako. I volunteered to become a preschool teacher. Nag-painting lessons ako. Nag-volunteer din ako. Kasi when you're depressed, parang lagi ka lang nasa ulo mo. So, I wanted to reach out to help other people also. Para yung focus naman is not on yourself. So, volunteering really helped or helping other people really helped. Parang giving energy out to people.
So, you came from sadness, hindi ba? Dun sa journey mo ng depression. What made you happy?
Honestly, myself. Yung lahat ng ginawa ko during that time. Yung reading books. Yung hinil ko muna yung sarili ko bago ako lumabas sa mundo. Isolating myself from the people who are bad for me. Staying with my family. Praying.
So what makes you happy now?
Kapag nagagawa ko yung gusto ko. Kapag na-achieve ko yung goals ko. Kapag nakikita ko na yung hard work ko may napupuntahan.
Noong 2016, you were crowned Miss International when you competed in Japan, the 6th Filipina to ever win that prestigious title.
Wow.
So, nung sinuot sa'yo yung crown na yun, anong tumakbo sa isip mo? Winning moment in your life?
Nasabi ko talaga na dreams do come true. Siguro mga 4 years ko siyang pangarap. 4 years ko siyang pangarap.
Na
trinabaho ko talaga. And ako, kung mag-focus talaga ako, focus na focus. So, visualize ko talaga every morning, night, yung crown. As in, sinusuot sa
Nabe-visualize mo na.
Nabe-visualize ko every morning, night. Sabi ko, Lord, kung isa lang yung mabigay mo sa akin, gusto ko lang yung corona.
Di ba may purpose lahat ng pinagdadaanan natin sa buhay? Nung nanalo ka na Miss International noong 2016, nasagot ba nun yung purpose kung bakit you went through the depression?
Yes, especially after. My advocacy had more meaning after winning Miss International, nung napag-usapan na siya. dun ko na-realize, okay, kaya ko pala napagdaanan yun, was to tell my story. Kasi dun mas nakaka-relate yung tao dun sa story. So, nung napapag-usapan ko na yung story ko, me going through depression, parang dun ko na-realize, okay, Lord, may purpose pala yung napagdaanan ko. And it was to talk about mental health. My advocacy teaches na mental health is just as important as physical health. Kung paano mo maalagaan yung katawan mo, dapat ganun mo din alagaan yung ulo mo. So many different things now. So it's evolved from mental health, from talking about depression to mental health awareness, to mental health education. Now it's talking about self-help, setting boundaries, yoga, meditation. Ang laki, ang lawak kasi ng mental health. But there's no one size fits all. Parang you have to find your own way of coping and your own way of healing with yourself. Kasi we're our own person. So trying to find the right things that work for you and for your mental health.
And the best thing that really worked for you was?
Reading books, exercise, the will to get better. Visualization really helped. I really tried to visualize. No one taught me this, pero visualize ko lang sarili ko as the best version of myself. Yung confident, yung strong, the beautiful woman. So, na-imagine ko yung best version ng self ko every day, every morning and night. Parang, this is the Kylie I want to become.
Have you finally found the meaning of your existence?
I think it's to tell your own story. It's to write your own story and to tell your own story. And by being who you really are and by being just so authentic, but also putting in the hard work, feeling ko, i-reward ka din niya eh. Lahat ng hirap ng buhay mo. And dun ko na-realize, that's why God put me through that bout of depression, was to talk about it. Was to experience it. Kasi ngayon, grateful ako na napagdaanan ko yun. Kasi ang dami ko talagang natutunan for myself. And masasabi ko talaga na kung hindi ko yun napagdaanan, I won't be the woman I am today.